How's it going, everybody? Savvier saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you Dragon Ball Legends, anime, and manga content. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more content, make sure to hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more content. Thank you for all your support so far, and thank you for your continued support. So today, what we're going to be doing is, we are going to be doing a tier list, a pre-launch, pre-Yamcha tier list. Truth be told, I don't think they're going to shatter the meta too much. They're going to do a little bit, but they're not going to do a whole lot. I'm excited for them. I'm really excited for them as an OG Dragon Ball fan. But I know that this isn't the most hype banner, and that's a good thing, because we've had 3 really hype banners back to back. Because Future Gohan, he may just be super non-canon, it has absolutely nothing to do with the price of tea in China, but he was pretty hype. I still love him. He's honestly become one of my favorite units real quick, to the point where I've started playing with Hybrid Saiyans, legitimately playing with Hybrid Saiyans, which is something I've never done before. Literally never, ever before have I seriously played with Hybrid Saiyans, and he is making me really enjoy them, because truth be told, I still like Rage Trunks better on Future. Although I do really... that's not even true. They're 1A, 1B for me at this point. It really just depends on my mood. But yeah. So anyway, let's hop right into it. I'm going to stop talking about all that. Let's go into the team tier list. So yeah, starting off, I am putting Saiyan Saga back in the conversation. I think Saiyan Saga deserves to be in the conversation, folks. I'm putting it at the bottom of the tier, but we have Zenkai Piccolo, LF Piccolo. And Support Coup, still solid unit. The only one who's really not pulling his weight is Raditz. But if you really want to stretch this, I'm almost 100% certain that Scouter Vegeta and Nappa also count for Saiyan Saga Z. As a matter of fact, you know what? Editing magic, I'm just gonna check that real quick. Alright, yes, I'm not making wild statements. Sorry, I just started thinking about this, at work. I started putting this tier list together at work. So I didn't 100% confirm it, because obviously I can't use my phone. But anyway, yeah, so Scouter Vegeta and Nappa are also available for Saiyan Saga Z. They will still get the buff from Piccolo. I honestly think this team needs to be put back in the conversation. I'm not putting them any higher than the lowest possible tier, but they need to be on the board. They need to be talked about, because Scouter Vegeta may not be the best Zenkai. Nappa may not be the best Zenkai. Hell, LF Piccolo may not be the best Zenkai. But they are all 3 solid Zenkai options. And then you have Support Coup, who is still one of the best support units in the game, and is honestly just fallen off because he's a blue Saiyan, and we know how muddy that color and that tag is right now. So, I think this team really needs to get talked about. I don't think people are considering this team. Truth be told, I think I'm going to do a video on this team, because they pull their weight a lot more than people are giving them credit. But yeah, so that's that. They're going at the bottom. By the way, I'm doing the tiers the same way I did it last time. We're doing, except the only thing is I had Yamcha as the bottom one last time, but this time we're just calling it base. And for those of you who are DBZA fans, I have Kyle What. So yeah, that's that. So let's start. Oh god, the first one's Sun Fam. I don't want to start on Sun Fam because I have some controversial things to say. Where did androids go? Androids should have been the first one. Where did androids go? Okay. Because that's what I want to talk about first. Let's talk about androids. Androids, 100% top tier. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to edit that out because that was technical difficulties. You guys won't know how hard I just struggled to get that onto the tier that it was supposed to be. I personally think androids is the top team right now. Or Saiyans. It's gotta be. I mean, they're fire. They're so good. I mean, seriously, they just have so much going for them right now in terms of they have 18, who's Gohan Jr., They have the blue 21 now. They have the green 21. They have green 16. They have reviving Cell. They have purple 21, who's aged tremendously well. It's just not fair, how good androids is right now. So I'm putting them up at the top. I think they deserve the number 1 slot. I think the only team that can make a solid case to maybe fight them. And the only other team to go up in Z tier is Saiyans. It's the only other one. And truth be told, I see people do Saiyans and Super Saiyans differently because people tend to just run Bardock, Gogeta, SSJ3. But I think whatchamacallit, I think Green Broly should also be in the conversation there. I think UI should be in the conversation there. Those are some really, really good Saiyan options. Kid Goku, also a really good option for Saiyans. You know, they have a multitude of options, and that's just kind of always going to be the case because, you know, they're the central focus point of Dragon Ball series. So, or of the franchise for that matter. So, yeah, I'm putting them pretty high up. I think they deserve it. So yeah. Let's move on. I think it's time to kind of move past Z tier. We're gonna move on to S tier or SSB tier, SS Blue. In the first spot, I'm not even putting Sunfam, and I know people are gonna be like, "Dude, are you crazy? Putting hybrids first." I think hybrids is filthy right now. And then once that we get the blue Zenkai Trunks tomorrow, who I completely forgot his Z ability was Future and Hybrid Saiyans. I, for whatever reason, thought he was so old that he was just Future. But, like, I was just looking through his kit, and I was like, oh, I forgot that he buffed Hybrids, too. So you add him into the mix, they're going to be fire. Like, they've got a bunch of Zenkais now, because you got the Red Trunks, who's fantastic, if you ask me. They've got LF Gohan. Don't have to say anything else. They even have Gotenks if you really want to stretch it that far. I wouldn't personally use them. I still like the Kid Trunks myself. We have the Future Gohan now, if not Goten, who's still phenomenal. I prefer Future Gohan, and that's literally just because I hate Goten as a character. Honestly, I just try not to use Goten at all. But that's just because I don't like him as a character. Hybrids is really, really powerful. The Blue Mystic Gohan. The only thing they like really kind of need is a non-Zenkai purple. Because truth be told, the fact that Gohan kind of came at a weird period, and like he wasn't then really around on other banners enough for like people to even just kind of like there are people I feel like who just either casually have him at Zenkai 1, and that's about it, you know, because he just his timing was weird. His revamp came at a weird time. His original Zenkai was, you know, before the revamps, obviously. So he was just at a weird spot. So I think they need a non-Zenkai purple. But other than that, Hybrids is phenomenal. They do really, really well. I think I said it before, but you know, Future Gohan has me like seriously playing Hybrids now. And so yeah. Moving on, Sunfam. That's it. You know, I don't need to say anything else. I think I do, because it's pretty controversial that I have 3 teams above them. But the thing is, they don't have any cover changes. I mean, you could stretch that if you want to put LF Future Gohan there now. But, like, they're pretty much straightforward damage. Like, if you have solid disruption, if you can solidly disrupt a team, you can deal with Sunfam. That's not to say there aren't great Sunfam players. Like, if you're a really, really good player and you play Sunfam, you're probably going to win 9 times out of 10. But, like, you know, if you're just a decent player, then I don't think they're as threatening as everybody acts. They're just intimidating in the lobby. You don't know the hands of the player who's using them. So, yeah, moving on. So last but not least, for the S tier, we have Super Saiyans. And the thing with Super Saiyans is Super Saiyans has a lot of good options right now. Because the thing is, so with Super Saiyans, what you can kind of do, and Gamepress has it as, you know, just as the core 3 of Super Gogeta, of Green Broly, and then Bardock, obviously. Those 3, and that's it. But, you know, and then the yellow Super Vegeta on the bench. Now, I think that that's super important, obviously, but I think that there's 2 other units that you can include on this team that you can actually interchange to even kind of go, you know, you have a purple unit in there, or you can even go blue, blue, purple. And those 2 units are the Blue Broly, LF Broly, obviously, or you can even go, you know, the whatchamacallit, the Zenkai Broly, if you really wanted. But I'm specifically talking blue LF Broly. And then the purple movie Vegeta, who I think is a phenomenal unit who doesn't get enough credit. He's one of the few units I don't have, but from everything that I've seen with his kit, and every time I've come against him, he just has so much longevity and so much to offer in terms of both support, defense, and even his ult hits like a bus. So there are a lot of good options for Super Saiyan right now. The only thing that they're kind of lacking right now is a solid yellow, but I suspect that yellow Super Vegeta is going to get one sooner rather than later. So that's just me. Moving on, I think we're actually going to work from the bottom up a little bit. You know, leave the fun stuff for later. You know, maybe we'll jump around a bit. Alright, moving on, we have a few for the bottom that I know are going to break people's hearts. We have Super Warriors. That should make sense. We have Ginyu Force, which is just... oh, no. Oh, come on. Get in there, Ginyu Force. Aged just so poorly. And then lastly, I know this is going to upset people, but you know this to be true. GT. Has to be. Has to be GT. You know? They just don't contend. I wish they did. I would love it if they did. They deserve better. And I hate to say it, but they're at such a point right now where it's like, they really need to focus on GT if they're going to do GT. They can't do what they did for the anniversary and release 1, maybe 2 units and call it a day. No, they need at least 2 Zenkais. They need, 1 or 2, new units, one of which needs to be an LF. They need a lot. They need a lot of work. There's not much to hold them together at this point. Truth be told, I think, you need to give either Sin, SSJ4, Goku, or Baby need a Zenkai. I'm leaning more towards Sin and SSJ4, and then you just need 2 new units. A new blue, and probably I'd say a new green, because Omega, a lot better than SSJ4 full power, if you ask me. I don't know what else to say on that. They need a lot. I think that's pretty fair to say. So yeah, let's move on to Kaio What for all my DBZA fans. So, in Kaio What, we've got, to start it off, we got Legends Road. Legends Road, it just kind of missed its mark. They just didn't release them fast enough. If they had Zenkai'd them at a much quicker pace, would have been a lot better, because by the time we get the red instant transmission Goku, and by the time we get Great Saiyaman, by the time we get the green Gohan, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be too late. It's not to say that they're like super duper bad, that they can't do anything, but they're just okay. And alongside them, I'm gonna put Dragon Ball Saga, who I'm really hoping is gonna jump up at least 1 or 2 tiers in the next day when launch jumps up. This and Female Warriors are the 2 that I am most excited for to maybe see it jump in the tier. And you know what? Truth be told, these are the only 2 I have for this, so I'm actually going to bump up Saiyan Saga to Kaio What, because I do actually think that this setup, along with the Nappa and the Vegeta and LF Piccolo... Oh, damn it, I can't do a video on this. You know what? I'm going to do it with just LF Piccolo as is. He's not Zenkai, but you know what? I don't think he even needed one. So, you know what? I think we're still going to do it. But anyway, yeah, I think they deserve to be in the conversation. I think they're being ignored. And I don't know. I think they're being slept on. Alright, we're gonna move up to the SSJ tier. SSJ tier is pretty simple. SSJ, we're starting with Frieza Force. Frieza Force is just bad lineage. That's really it. There's not really any other reason. Because at this point, lineage is so much better that it's the only reason to kind of run Frieza Force is if you really wanted to do kind of what I'm talking about with Saiyan Saga, but instead of doing a Saiyan Saga team, you run the blue Frieza instead of Goku, and then maybe you have Raditz on the back or something, or you run Goldo for your green or Ginyu or whatever. But I don't know, it's just kind of if you're gonna run Frieza Force, run Lineage. Lineage is just the better version. They're essentially the same team, unless you're using some niche units for pretty much no apparent reason. The next one is painful for me. This pains me to say, and I know I'm gonna upset some people. Vegeta family. I don't think they contend. I don't know what it is. Every time I pick up Vegeta family, just something doesn't sit right. Something doesn't play right. It's just I don't know. And I was hoping that the yellow Vegeta's cover change was going to kind of help that. because I was thinking originally that it was just a lack of a cover change, but it's so easy to box out his cover change, and you know there are units now running around that completely ignore cover changes and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm not sure what Vegeta Family's lacking. I can't put my finger on it, but it just and the thing is like they're pretty solid right now if you're free to play, because Drip Vegeta gave them a tremendous skyrocket in value for players, because it's a really good unit that a lot of people have access to, but they don't put up nearly the numbers that Sun Family does or anything like that. If anything, they have better support and glassiness than glass cannon-iness to them than anything, Majin Vegeta is kind of like the only one who's quote-unquote tanky, and actually that's not true, because you have the red Zenkai Trunks, but then you're losing out on Drip Vegeta, and you have to have him at Zenkai 7 for him to even be that valuable. So it's kind of like Vegeta Family's just missing something, and I can't put my finger on it. I can tell you a lot of things that's wrong with it, and I'm just not sure what to tell you to make it better. I wish I could, but I can't. That's it for the Super Saiyan tier. We're going to hop up to Super Saiyan 2. Coming in for Super Saiyan 2, we have Powerful Opponent, Female Warriors, and Lineage of Evil. Truth be told, I think these are the respectable middle tier guys. This and Super Saiyan 3 are the respectable middle tier teams. These are tiers that you can very, very easily get away with and do really well in the meta and compete with these top 2 tiers of teams, but, are not necessarily going to be broken and win every single fight that you fight. Oh, you know what? And I'm going to put in my personal favorite. I've always said this is a sleeper team because I don't think it is the same thing as Sun Family. I think there's a very big difference between running all Goku and running Sun Family. Running all Goku doesn't necessarily mean that you're running, Namek-Ku and Super Saiyan 3 and all that. I actually like the God Key variant of all Goku, running UI, Future Ku, the Super Saiyan Blue Zenkai Goku alongside the ROC Goku, and then Kid Goku for my yellow option. There are so many Gokus in the game. You can interchange this with so many different options, so many choices. I mean, you could do whatever you want, really. You could throw in the yellow Kaioken, or Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken option if you wanted. You could throw in Support Ku for your blue option. There are just so many decent options because Goku is the main character. Obviously, he's going to get a bazillion units, and that's great. That's fine. I have no issues with that. I just think it's not necessarily Sun Family, and it runs, pretty much just as well. And I personally like having the cover changes just a little bit more. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to SSJ3, which now we're really going to kind of start seeing those really commonplace teams, other than the ones at the top. All right, in the SSJ3 tier, we have Movies, Rival Universe, and Fusion. Now, let's be honest here. I think you could make an argument to maybe bump Fusion up one. And that's just because they still churn out Rising Rushes so much quicker than everybody else. I mean, if you look, because I think everybody was like, oh, the nerf to Rising Rush is going to be a nerf to Fusion directly, and only Fusion is going to be nerfed. And it was no, it just meant it was going to be longer for people to be getting Rising Rush, but the teams that were still getting Rising Rush faster than other teams are still going to be getting quick Rising Rushes, and that's the case with Fusion. So, it's not like I'm getting rushed in 7 to 10 counts like I was a few months ago, but I'm still getting rushed in 20 to 25 counts, whereas opposed to a lot of other matches, I'm not getting rushed to at least 30, 35. So, I don't know. I think Fusion definitely is still a bit of an ogre that people need to tackle and be aware of. So yeah, that's that. Going on to our final tier, we have our last 3 that I'm sure you guys can see, and that is Regen, God Key, and Future. Now, God Key, I think God Key is probably pretty obvious at this point. If God Key had a red unit, they'd be top tier. Y'all have seen my meme. Y'all know what's going on with me in the meme right now, all the trouble that I'm going through with this right now. But if that red Super Saiyan God Goku got a Zenkai, it's over. Because the number of great non-Zenkai and Zenkai units God Key has right now, you can run pretty much any option that you have available to you and come out doing just fine. Because honestly, the only yellow right now that is like super scary IMO is 18. That's it. Everybody else is manageable. Not saying that they're not, going to do a lot and that they're not going to one-shot your UI, but everybody else, you can manage them. Just have to work hard enough. Then Future. Future, I say all the time, best non-Zenkai team. Absolutely. We're going to be getting a Zenkai for them tomorrow. A competent one, finally, because, Future, or Goku Black, the yellow Goku Black, garbage. Doesn't do a damn thing. But other than that, you have so many good, so many good options. The green Elef Vegeta, green Goku Black, who's easily one of the best greens in the game. Future Ku versus red Reviving Cell. Two phenomenal reds. Red Reviving Cell is easily one of the best non-Zenkais in the game. Zamasu and Future Vegeta. The list goes on. Future Gohan versus Rage Trunks. Vegito Blue versus Legends Road. Legends Road Trunks, which it's Legends Road Trunks. Obviously there are significantly better options in these cases, but there are still good options across the board, multiple options across the board because of how much love Future's gotten since the anniversary. So that's just that. And then Regen, I am so happy to say this because the 21s saved Regen. They were absolutely what Regen needed to be back on top. All they needed to pull themselves kind of out of the gutter was a non-Zenkai green and a solid blue, and they got both of those things with the 221s. And so I am just so happy to put Regen back up here. I love Regen. It's one of my favorite teams. It's one of my OG mains. The fact that I can comfortably and feel okay using it again, other than maybe when I come across Gohan, is a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's that. This is the tier list. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm kind of pooped. I thought I was going to say a lot less. I think I wasn't really intending to go on as much rants as I did, but I hope you guys found this informative. Let me know if you guys agree, if you guys disagree. I want to talk about it. I want to debate. Let me know down in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.